asphalt. Mark Levin. Call him now at 877-381-3811.
I would like to know, as I sit here during the breaks and watch these hearings, I think about the Obama presidency. I think about what Harry Reid has done to the Senate. I think about what Nancy Pelosi did to the House when she was Speaker. I think about these liberal Democrat activist judges and how outrageous they are. I look at the southern border. I look at the economy. I look at the debt. I look at our foreign policy, which is a shambles. I would like to know from you Democrats out there, many of you are loyal listeners to this program, what the hell does your party stand for? What does your party stand for? Can't be the so-called middle class. You're killing it. Can't be efficient government, because it isn't. What do you stand for today? What are your principles? And how can it be that intelligent people don't see what a disaster this ideology is? A complete and utter disaster. The amount of money we've spent, the nation is bankrupt. Really, it is. It's bankrupt. The burdens we're going to place on our children and grandchildren for these outrageous experiments in social engineering, the attack on our traditions and customs. What the hell do you people stand for anyway? I think you really need to look in the mirror, and you need to ask yourselves, why do I support this party? Now, I've got my questions about my party, and God knows I voice them day in and day out, but I'm not talking about that right now. The Democrat Party in Washington, D.C. today is affirmatively destructive. It rejects free market capitalism. It rejects the limits on the Constitution in government embedded in the Constitution. So I'm just curious. And I watch these representatives, these dim-witted, pathetic, barely literate Democrats from all parts of the country who just stand there and slobber all over the IRS commissioner. They don't even know who this guy is. They know nothing about him, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Full cover-up mode, full obstruction mode. Not a single Democrat has peeled off from the group. Not one. Reminds me of the Obamacare votes. Reminds me of everything else. This is a party steeped in ideology. Not experience, not reason, not evidence. It is a party steeped in ideology. An ideology that is alien to the American heritage. Absolutely appalling. It just disgusts me to watch this. And it's time and time and time again. Let's go to Joel, Wichita, Kansas, the great KNSS. Go.
Hey, Mark, this is Joel, second-time caller. I'm a combat vet, husband, father of three. And, I think you've just nailed it right on the head with how the liberals specifically, and not to leave out the Republicans because they've done a lot that I don't agree with either, but they always just go to protect the tribe, protect the party, whether, like you said, no matter what truth there is, we don't care. We're gonna stand by this person, or with the IRS, Lois Lerner taking the Fifth Amendment. I wonder why she did that. And so all these things go unchecked. And I guess I'm calling today, one, to thank you, but two, once again, to ask, what can I do? I feel just chained up here. I get furious about it. What can I do?
First of all, you don't need to thank me. You're the combat vet, and I want to thank you, and God bless you and your family. I'll tell you what we can do. I'm going to send you a copy of the Liberty Amendments. I'm not hawking the book. The book came out in August. I'm hawking the idea, not the book. That's what we can do. We got to take our country back. We're not going to take it back, I fear, strictly or solely by the ballot box. We need to take it back through a constitutional process that was granted to us by the framers because they were smarter than all these buffoons put together right now. And they said if Congress becomes oppressive, that means, the federal government becomes oppressive, open this box. And that box is in Article 5. So I'm going to send you a copy of this, Joel. I hope you'll take a look at it, and maybe you'll be able to join the effort in Kansas. The other thing you can do in Kansas, you have a wonderful candidate running for the Senate, Dr. Milton Wolf. This guy is good. He's the real deal. He's he's a medical doctor. He's extremely well read. He is a solid conservative. He's a constitutionalist. Pat Roberts is just another fraud, in my humble opinion. He's been around forever. He lives in Alexandria, Virginia. He has really no further connections with Kansas whatsoever. And, work on his campaign and help him get elected. You could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
But don't hang up. I hear your frustration, but there are things you can do. I'm going to send you the book, and you can contact Wolf's campaign too. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it does, and I appreciate it. And once again, you've brought history to the table. You've shown us, where they're wrong and what we can do. And I'm beside myself every time I talk to you. I can't believe I'm talking to you. And once again, thank you.
Oh, Joe, by all means, and thank you, brother. And don't hang up. We want to get you that. I really feel bad for people in their 70s and 80s and 90s and beyond. Because, when I speak to my father and my mother, and I speak to other elderly people, they really can't believe what's going on in this country. They just can't believe it. And it really upsets me that in the twilight of their lives they have to see this. It really upsets me that we have really, what I'd like to say is just, we have some jerk in the White House, let me put it to you that way, who's abusing his power. He's abusing his power. Anybody with any intellectual integrity knows I'm right. Who is undercutting this government, who is unleashing his ideology, his destructive, heinous ideology on this society. It's such an awful thing. It really is such an awful thing. And I also feel sorry for the young people in this country. Those yet born, those newly born, those who are in their teens and college students and recent grads and so forth. I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because the circle of liberty around the individual is shrinking. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And as you get older, you see this. And it's truly unfortunate. The greatest nation man has ever created. The greatest constitution man has ever established. Just thrown out the window. Because another guy with another Marxist agenda rolls through, gets elected president, and seeks to destroy or destroys another country. Except this country is the greatest country. It's very sad. It's just very, very frustrating. And I know people get on the air and they want to put smiley faces. That's rating stuff. That's consultancy stuff. I tell you like I see it. And if I thought it was happy face time, trust me, I'd put happy faces on there. I don't think this decline is inevitable. But it's going to be a hell of a fight. And people are talking about a landslide victory in this midterm election. I hope it is a landslide victory in this midterm election. But with Boehner and McConnell, landslide victory or not, the accomplishments will be very, very limited. I think from a federal electoral point of view, what's key is not only to take the Senate with as many conservatives as we can, But we must prepare ourselves for the presidential primary. We cannot allow the Sheldon Adelsons and the guy that owns Home Depot or did, or Murdoch or these others to control this process. We cannot allow the Chamber of Commerce and Rove and the Bush family to control this process. We need to seize it from them. And that's going to mean relatively early in the process getting behind a single conservative, or they'll chew us up. They'll cherry pick us. They'll get behind one or two. We'll be spread out with 15 or 20, and we'll never win the damn thing. I want my kids, one of whom is 26, one of whom is 23. I want my kids to have an opportunity to vote for a conservative for president. An opportunity many of you under 50 have never had. I want you to know how inspiring it is, how invigorating it is, how exciting it is to get involved in a campaign like that. And not sit back and leave it to the consultants and a particular cable channel and some talk show host to just talk up party. That's not going to do it. Barack Obama should never have been president. He should have been defeated twice. We had two pathetically weak candidates. Look, folks, I'm telling you the way it is. McCain was awful and Romney was awful. They're good at fighting Republicans. They're good at attacking conservatives. They don't know how to win an election against a hardcore liberal Democrat with a heavily funded Democrat Party with all their special interest groups. They don't know how to talk about immigration. They don't know how to talk about liberty. They don't know how to talk about capitalism. They don't know how to talk about traditional marriage. Don't go there. No, don't talk. Why the hell not? You can do it in a rational way without being hateful and so forth. But if we just keep going through this process, one rhino after another, where the billionaires and the millionaires on Wall Street and the lobbyists in Washington keep telling us only this guy can win and that guy can win, these people don't stand with us, folks. That's not conservatism. That's grotesque. It's grotesque. We shouldn't be nominating any more, and I'm from the Northeast, we shouldn't be nominating any more Northeastern governors. They can't win. It's not where the red states are. I'm just saying. And we need some of these young guys or young gals, some of these fresh faces and fresh voices, newly elected, whether they're in Washington or governorships, I don't care. It's the muster. You take the measure of the person. You look at their